Thank you for joining me back on another episode of Target Check. And if you guys tuned into my other series, Market Targets, I know for a fact you guys made some money for the week because I definitely did. It was a great week to be trading on the forex market. I ended up being aggressive this week and entering 5 trades, a bit more than my usual standards, but ended up turning out on the positive side. And I'm gonna be reviewing first the first trades I took for the week, which were a total of 5, and then I'll move along to the other 5 pairs I was looking at that I did not end up trading, but I just want to see if my predictions were correct or not. So let's jump right into NZDJPY. NZDJPY, I wanted to go long on it, and as you can see here on the daily time frame, it is going against the trend, and that is a bit risky, but it did pay off. I'm gonna move along to the 30 minute, which is where I found my entry on the smaller time frame. And if you go here, you see this V-shaped pattern right here. As soon as that V-shaped pattern happened and it broke structure above here and ended up becoming bullish on this smaller time frame, I ended up entering. And as soon as I entered, I hit this move on about 4 hours. I hit a 1.64, 1.7, give or take. And as you can see here on the 4 hour, I exited as soon as it closed. But I kind of chickened out just because since it was a trade that was on the opposite trend on the daily, I wanted to be conservative. I wanted to just secure my profits and get out. That's exactly what I did. But if you can see here, this one hurts me. So it's gonna hurt you guys too. I would have hit a 1.487. God damn, I need to learn when to exit out and when to not. As you can see here, I would have hit a major move and my first trade for the week. Honestly, if I would have hit that, I probably wouldn't have even entered any other trades for the week. I would have been done and that's it. But it's fine. I'm glad I took my dub, exactly what I wanted, and moved along. But it's crazy that I missed out on that much profit. But whatever. All right, moving along to AUDCHF. AUDCHF, I was looking for a long as well. It didn't do the complete move I wanted it to make. I thought it was going to go all the way up here to this structure level, but it did not. It ended up being all the way to a 1.5, which is fine on my entry. If you would have entered right around here, I'm pretty sure you guys would have hit a 1 to 2, definitely. But I wanted more structure for me to enter this trade on the smaller time frames. As you can see here, the reason for my exit, and I took a partial W on this one. I'm gonna move along to the 1 hour. The 1 hour was the one I was looking at because I didn't enter on the 1 hour on this trade. I entered the 1 hour right after this V-shaped structure broke to the bullish trend. It's kind of the same thing as NZDJPY. And as you can see here, I pretty much exited as soon as this structure right here shifted to the downside. As soon as it shifted to the downside, boom, I exited out, secured my profits, and looked away. Thankfully, I did do that because, boom, it wouldn't hit my stop loss, but it would have consolidated for the rest of the week, would have not made the same profits I would have made on this move right here. So, moving along to Euro AUD. Euro AUD, this was a lesson I took for the week. It was the first partial loss I took for the week. I took 2 partial losses, no full losses for the week, so that's good for me. As you can see here, the move actually happened on the 1 hour earlier in the week. And this is a great example of pretty much asking too much of the markets. As you can see here, if I put a risk to reward right around this area, which is where I would have entered, and I would have put my stop loss right at this structure right here and put my take profit right around here, I would have pretty much hit 1 to 2.3. And that was a real move for the week. So if anyone caught that, that was the correct move to make because this was just a great example of asking too much of the markets. And when you ask too much of the markets, they usually do not repay you. They usually can make you take the L hard as hell because you're being greedy as shit. And that's exactly what I was. And as you know, on literally AUDCHF, as soon as on the smaller time frames it shifted to the upside, I exited out. On this one, I thought I was big shit and I had a 2 trade winning streak and I was so confident it was going to go back down to the downside and it never did. I ended up taking a partial loss. I should have exited out right around here, taken a small W and moved along and secured my profits. I did not. So this ain't going to happen to me again. Definitely put that as my number one rule from now on. So if you guys want to secure profits, I consider that a great way of securing profits, especially in the forex market, how it's been so volatile in the past few months. Moving along to Euro CHF. Euro CHF was another partial loss I did take for the week. And as you can see here, pretty much consolidated throughout the whole week. I got an entry that I liked right around here. Boom, I entered. I entered right after this structure broke, and I got a little candlestick confirmation. As soon as I got that, boom, it went right back to the upside. It would have given me a better entry. And I probably would have exited out over here, which is where I exited out on just break even, and I would have taken that entry. I did not, but it's fine. I took a partial loss just because I did follow my rule on this one. As soon as it shifted to the upside, boom, it took out my trade. If I would have waited 30 minutes later, I would have went into break even, exited out, and not taken any loss. But I'm not no one to know that's gonna happen. If and then right after it did go to the upside and would have hit my stop loss directly. So I'm glad I took out and just took a small loss instead of a huge loss. And then moving along to USD CAD. USD CAD. All right, I wanted to explain this trade. So USD CAD is actually one of the trades that I was looking at the most this week. I was looking for the best entry. A good entry this week was right around here. I didn't take it, so I was looking for another entry. And since I saw that it did a shift right around here, well, right down here, I wanted pretty much for this candle to give me the confirmation. I entered right after the spread got me a little bit right here, and I did end up entering a bit higher than I wanted to, but I did hit a 1 to 1, and then right when the market was about to close on Thursday, I exited out because I actually looked at forex market. I mean, at forex factory, and I saw that there was four red folder news for USD and CAD the following morning at the exact same time, and I was like, hell no, I am not gonna be in a trade for USD and CAD when news is gonna hit that hard, and it could go either way. In this case, the news did favor my trade, which honestly, the news never ever pretty much gives me the green. It always makes me go straight into stop loss. So honestly, it is what it is. My luck is my luck. So that's why I tried to avoid news, and especially in USD pairs, because they're crazy moves whenever USD pairs get news, or even CAD pairs. So I ended up taking a partial win on this one, but I definitely could have taken my full win on this one. I ended up the week with even more profit, but I'm fine with that. I ended up securing profits. I ended up making 2,200 for the week. That is great for my P&L. So I was happy with that. Moving along now to the next five pairs that I didn't end up trading, but I was looking at for the week. And the one I'm most excited to talk about was USD JPY. I don't know if anyone was looking at this trade at 12:30 a.m. Eastern time when this freaking candle hit, and I was astonished. I was pretty much just looking at this market actually about to enter it, and I took about 5 minutes. I decided to go get some water, come back, and when I came back, this candle had come all the way down here and never even decided to shoot up to give me another reentry. And I was just like, what the hell? And honestly, the risk to reward for me didn't make sense. I felt like I was going to be asking too much of the markets if I would have put my stop loss up here and pretty much tried to hit a 1 to 2, which I wouldn't even hit a 1 to 2, but I would have hit a 1.83, which is freaking insane. And honestly, one of the fastest moves I've seen, at least on a 30-minute time frame, in a while, especially with no news that hit on USD or JPY at that time. So it was honestly crazy trend move in my opinion, because I've never seen that happen with no news. But crazy move for anyone who did catch it. If you guys did catch it, let me know on the comments below, because you pretty much have to be a sniper in order to catch that trade, and it would have been a great trade to catch. As you can see here, I definitely predicted this market right. Pretty much the same thing I've been saying. A little V-shaped structure, it breaks it, and then you pretty much enter. It could be on the bullish, it could be on the bearish trend, whatever it is, boom, that's going to be your entry most of the time. Next up, it's going to be CAD CHF. CAD CHF, I was completely wrong about this trade. I pretty much was looking for either entry on this support level or this support level. Both levels became resistance. So it went to the downside, didn't catch anything. But if anyone was looking for a sell on this, you guys definitely hit some money. Next up is GBBCHF. GBBCHF did not make the move I wanted to make. I wanted to keep going down, especially like this, exactly how it's doing on the daily time frame, and hit this support level in order for me to find an entry and enter. I could have found an entry and entered, but I wasn't too confident for it because it's a GBP pair. GBP pairs, I tend to always be more conservative. They tend to wig people out. So I was conservative. I did see a shift. It didn't do any other shifts that I was mostly interested in taking. This was pretty much the entry I would have taken. But since it was under here, I wanted to be more above this support level for me to enter, and I never did that. But I know for a fact it's going to be cooking up for next week. So I'm going to most likely leave this one on my list so I can keep watching it for next week and hopefully find an entry that I like and we can make some money. Move along to NZD CAD. NZD CAD, there was a small move to the downside on Sunday or Monday that I didn't catch, which was the move that I thought I was going to pretty much have for the week and maybe even hit over a 1 to 2. It didn't do that. It gave you a quick entry on the 30-minute time frame. Let me find it. Let me see right here. Okay, right here. It gave you entry right here. You will put your stop loss there. Your risk to reward down here. The wick was a 1.94. You would have taken that move and left. Boom. Great profits. That was a trade that I would have been able to take on Monday, but I decided not to. I wasn't too confident on it. But whoever did take this trade, I think I saw some people take this trade and it took W. So congrats to you guys. But then right after, it completely disrespected my prediction and it went completely to the upside, but completely like this shit got destroyed. Like look at this. Look at this weekly. Wait, sorry. Look at this weekly. That's a great weekly candle. Crazy move to the upside. Whoever full ported this the week, I want to see your freaking profits. That's for sure. And next up, NZD USD, same thing. Cross pair correlating pair with NZD CAD. Almost structure looks exactly the same. Move to the upside, almost exactly the same. There was a small move on Monday to the downside that you would have caught as well. So whoever caught it, same thing, and then ran right back up to the bullish trend on top. So whoever caught this sell, congrats to you guys. And whoever took this long, congrats to you guys because this long was crazy, just like NZD CAD. So that's pretty much the full recap for my week. I had a great week this week, and I know next week is going to be amazing. So if you guys want to know what I'm going to be trading next week, look at my other series, Market Targets, on Sunday, and you'll be able to see the trades I'm interested in, and hopefully you guys could make some money on that. With that being said, thank you guys for joining, and see you guys next time.